Okay, if you're early in your career and at some point work has started to feel a little political, you are not imagining it. Many people enter the workplace with a very straightforward expectation. They believe that if they work hard, do good work, and behave professionally, everything will function logically, but it doesn't. Let me explain. Effort leads to results, correct? Well, sometimes, not all the time. Results lead to recognition, and recognition leads to progress. And often that is partly true. But after some time in a workplace, many people begin to notice something else happening. Decisions are not always based only on the quality of the work. Different people have different levels of influence. Some voices seem to carry more weight than others. Some decisions take place in conversations you're not part of. And suddenly work feels more complex than expected. This is often the moment when people begin to say, work feels political. Work feels political. Now, the word political can sometimes create a negative reaction. It can make people imagine manipulation or conflict. But very often what people are actually observing is something simpler. They are noticing that companies and organizations are systems of people, not just systems of tasks. And whenever people work together inside a system, relationships naturally influence how things function. People have responsibilities, they have pressures from above, they have priorities that may not always be visible to everyone else. And those pressures shape how decisions are made. That pressure does have an impact on decisions. For someone early in their career, this can feel surprising because you may have been focusing mainly on the quality of the work itself. You may believe that if the work is good, the outcome should be obvious. But most of the times it isn't. Companies often balance multiple considerations at once. I'll name them. Budget. Secondly, timeline or timelines. Risk, number 3, but it still is. Risk approach in companies is a very big management approach. 4, reputation. 5, team dynamics. And 6, strategic direction. What is the strategy? All of these influence decisions in ways that are not always immediately visible. So when work starts to feel political, it is often a signal that you're beginning to see the wider system in which the work takes place. And that is actually an important stage of professional development. It means you are beginning to observe not only the task, but also the structure around them. The key question here, I would say, becomes, how do you respond to this awareness? Some people respond becoming cynical, maybe. They conclude that everything is unfair or controlled by influence. That reaction can make work feel frustrating very quickly. And that's not a place where we want to be. We don't want to be frustrated at work. But there's another way to do the interpretation of what you are seeing. Instead of seeing politics as manipulation, you can see it as organizational dynamics. See it as organizational dynamics. It simply means that decisions are made within a complex environment where different responsibilities interact. So when you understand that, I would say you can start paying attention to how the system operates. You notice who carries responsibility for different decisions. You notice how information flows. You notice where alignment is needed before something can move forward. This awareness does not mean abandoning professionalism. In fact, it often strengthens it, because professional maturity involves understanding not only your own work, but also the environment in which that work exists. You begin to ask questions such as, I've got about, 3 questions I've got. Where does this decision sit within the organization? Who needs to be informed before this moves forward? What pressures might be influencing this situation? Those questions help you operate within the greater clarity. The clarity that is important in companies. Because if not, clarity has a feeling of frustration if you don't have it. And clarity will reduce frustration. But over time, many professionals realize that understanding organizational dynamics is not about playing games. You don't want to play games. That's not what it is. It is about understanding context. And context helps you navigate work more intelligently. Instead of feeling confused when something unexpected happens, you begin to see the larger picture. You understand why certain discussions take time, you understand why alignment matters, and you also learn how to contribute in ways that support the whole company, the whole environment, department, interdepartments, and the company or organization you're in. That shift is part of becoming more comfortable and effective in your professional life. I'll say that again, being more comfortable and effective in your professional life. So clarity is the beginning, and practice is what makes and creates change. If you want to work with me in the mentorship, you will find the link below.